I feel like in terms of where we fit in the community, I often feel this, that I'm still sort of trying to strike this balance, because on one hand we can go to Capitol Hill or go to a party or go to the club and fit in and have a lot of fun, and do our own thing. But, I got to get up and feed someone breakfast at 8 a.m. the next morning. And so, like, a lot of my friends who are either single or just partnered and don't have children, like, their lives are a little more flexible. Like, hey, let's drop everything and go to Palm Springs for the weekend. So in some ways we fit with them. And most of our friends, I think, understand, like, well, that's not how Jeff and Eric necessarily operate. Like, they have a few more restrictions. And I don't mean restrictions in a negative way. It's just we don't live in the gay neighborhood. But we can fit in there. And yet at the same time, we can fit in at the elementary school, the PTA auction, which he emceed the PTA auction. And we go there and we sit with all the primarily straight people and we talk about our kids. And so we have this weird sort of hybrid. And honestly, I've never seen it. Like, I don't have a model for it.
We're working our way through that.
We are the only adult group in the United States that has such an affinity with naming our subgroup. We're like the Boy Scouts, where everybody had those little patches with the, I'm a Cobra Squad, I'm a Badger Squad, or a Weeblower. There's all these, we always want to know what little niche we fit into. And there's bears, and then now there's muscle bears and pocket bears and wolves and otters and beavers and cows and trees and, tulips. I don't know. There's a whole, like, flora and fauna out there.
I'd say that I give back to the community more as a consumer. I appreciate small local businesses that are part of the GSBA directory, or go to the Seattle Lesbian Gay Film Festival, or see gay and lesbian films at the film festival. I definitely go out for Pride, and I travel to places like Vancouver and Portland and San Francisco for gay events, and also I definitely go to like dinners and fundraisers and give, like Lifelong's Dine for Life, and make donations. Also planning on going to the HRC dinner later this year, motivating my company to make a donation. I kind of do things in that way. I'm not really active and out volunteering.
Lately I've been trying to find someone to date for the summer, and I realized how just different I am than people. The color of my skin, my background, my interests, and I think that there should be more people like me in the gay community. I think there are more people like me, but I think, we're kind of, it's hard to be yourself in such a judgmental community. So it's disappointing to see how much discrimination and judgment and ignorance there is. It can be unpleasant.
I think I'm the person that asks those challenging questions. I invite people to question themselves a lot, because I question myself constantly. I always review my day and think, why did I do that? Why did I think that? Why did I say that? And I try to look at how my values are portrayed in my life and make sure there's a consistency there. There's not so much dissonance. It's very easy to think one thing and do another, so I try to kind of check that. I like other people's viewpoints, and I think I get them to think about their own viewpoints and sometimes flesh them out more, even if they're opposed to my own.
I was just at the brunch this morning. People brought kids, and I think that's relatively new, to be at a gay event and see gay families bring their children. And I think that it kind of changes a little bit about how you think about what a gay community is, because we're no longer always talking about sex. We don't always have a martini in our hand anymore. We're not always prowling for sex, or at least if we are, we're a little bit sneakier about it. Because sometimes we have kids with us, and sometimes we have lesbians with us, and we want to be respectful of how they feel as well. And sometimes we have straight people with us, and maybe our straight friends don't always want to be pawed. I think they like the compliments, but they don't always want to be touched. So I think, yeah, I don't know if I would fit into a particular little bubble. I think I like to move between bubbles, but I think most people do.
The Gay City mission is to build community, foster communication, and nurture self-esteem, because healthy communities are made up of healthy individuals.
There's a Mrs. with a Mrs. and a Mr. with a Mr. Sometimes it's kinda hard to tell a brother from a sister. There's lesbians and leathermans, the dykes and the bears, transsexuals, bisexuals, but nobody cares. They're the people in your neighborhood, and that's good. They're the people in your neighborhood. Yes, one and all, both big and small. They're the people in your neighborhood.